Okay, so what you need to understand is that when you have a quadratic, it's going to be written in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, last week we had very basic graphs. All right, there really wasn't a difficult thing when you're using a table. All right, but honestly, we don't use a table. All right. And we started out using a table with lines, and then we moved away from the lines and we did the slope and y-intercept. It's the same principle here. You can always use a table, but once you understand the table, then you move away from that. All right. So the first thing I want everyone to write down is this would be kind of like step number one. All right. For step number one, you are finding the axis symmetry. Axis of symmetry. All right, and to find the axis of symmetry, all right, it's an equation. X equals negative b over 2a. All right, x equals negative b over 2a. Next, you calculate the vertex. All right, in order to find the vertex is located on the axis of symmetry. So that means that the coordinate is going to be negative b over 2a, comma, f of negative b over 2a. Now, what the f of negative b over 2a means is it just means that you plug the x value into the original equation. All right, that's what that means. All right, step number 3 is you're going to find the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is always 0, comma, c. And then step number 4, you're going to plot points. And number 5, you can say graph. And again, guys, you don't have to memorize all this. All right. After you do 6 of them, you'll see it's very easy. All right. It's really, really simple. All right. So here we go. All right. Let's start with question number 1. All right. So again, if you look up at our notes, step number 1 is we're finding the axis symmetry. Axis symmetry, I want everybody to write down is x equals negative b over 2a. Now keep in mind the a, b, and the c come from ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember, b is the number in front of the x value. Is there an x value in this case? No. No, so b is what? 0. So we just simply say 0 over 2 times 1, which is what? 0. You're all right. So x equals 0 is your axis of symmetry. So now let's go over. Now, because it's on the x-axis, normally what I tell kids to do is kind of do an axis symmetry where you slant the lines a little bit. Does everybody see that so you can see it? All right. But because I have my notability, I can highlight, and then it's easy for me. It's easy for me to graph the axis symmetry. So here we go. Here is my axis of symmetry. Well, maybe it's not so easy. Yeah, here's my axis symmetry. X equals 0. Everybody's okay with that? All right, so that's your axis of symmetry. Again, that's the axis that splits the graph in half. All right, now what we want to do is we want to find the vertex. So to find the vertex, all right, your vertex is going to be 0, comma. Now, how did I know it was 0? Because it was the x coordinate, all right, from the axis symmetry. And then you just plug 0 into the function. So y equals 0 squared minus 5. What's 0 squared minus 5? Negative 5. So now the vertex is 0, negative 5. So now everybody goes down and graphs 0, negative 5. And there you have the vertex. All right, again, the vertex will always be on the axis symmetry. Now, question number 3, or step number 3. You find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is always 0, c. What's the c value in this case? Negative 5. So the y-intercept is 0, negative 5. All right, which I want everybody to put down as kind of a problem. Why is that a problem? That's exactly right. It's the same as the vertex. All right, that's usually not the case, but in this case, it is. All right, so there's a problem. We only have 1 point. Can we really graph a parabola using 1 point? No, we cannot. All right, so because there's only 1 point, we now have to just select another point. All right, what's another point to select?
Negative 4, negative 1.
What would be the easiest point to plug in? X equals what?
Negative 5, 0.
Well, I don't know that it's negative 5, 0, but I'm asking you for an X coordinate. So what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to think the easiest point, even we can't use 0 because use 0 is, yeah, so we're just going to plug 1 in. All right. So now what is f of 1? Somebody tell me what f of 1 would be. So 1 squared minus 5. What's 1 squared minus 5? Negative 4. So we now know that the point 1, 4 is on the graph. So I need everybody to graph 1, negative 4. Now we use the axis of symmetry to find the other point. Where's the other point going to be located at?
Negative 1, negative 4.
Negative 1, negative 4. That is correct.
And then just go up 2.
Now what we're going to do is 3 points gives you the shape of the curve. Does everybody see that? All right. So now if you want, you can just draw in that parabola. And I'm going to draw in this parabola. And there we have it. All right. Just the general shape.
I
Yes.
just don't understand why we can't do what we did last week. We just did the exact same thing.
Well, we could, but you're going to see it gets harder.
Okay.
Those were just easy ones.
I find that that's like quicker.
Well, you're going to find out in a minute. It won't be.
Okay.
I promise you. All right. Now, everybody take out your handy dandy calculator. And everybody types in y equals x squared minus 5.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to look at it and say, okay, that's pretty much what we just graphed. Everybody's okay with that? All right. Anybody have any questions? Anybody? All right. Now, let's say we forgot what the vertex was. Now, I really want your attention now because I'm trying to help you with your calculator that will help you in the future. So everybody agree this point right down here is my vertex, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I would like everybody, has everybody got it on their calculator, right? So now I want everybody to go to second, hit the second, and then the calc button, which is right above the trace button.
Mm-hmm.
Does everybody do that?
Oh, minimum.
Minimum and maximum. What is this vertex? The minimum. So I need everybody to hit that button, minimum. Now what's going to come up on your screen is left bound. So now please watch. Don't hit any buttons yet. So here is my cursor, right? Look up, guys. I'm trying to show you something, so it'll make it easy. Here's my cursor. I want my cursor to be the left of the minimum. So I move my cursor anywhere to the left. Once I move it to the left, I hit enter. Then it says right bound. I now have to move my cursor to the right. I can move it anywhere to the right of the minimum. Then hit enter. And then it says guess. Do I care about guessing? No, hit enter. And boom, it puts it right at the minimum.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, sometimes it goes like 0.000 or and then it you have to round it sometimes. But what does it say on your calculator? The minimum is
-5.
no, it doesn't. It gives a coordinate.
Oh, you're-
What's the x coordinate?
3704
Now,
Mine's -1.9.
now, look, these I'm trying to show you now because I don't want you to be confused. -1.99 e -7 is the same as scientific notation for 0. If I was creating this program, I would clean up this, right? When it gives you an e to a negative, everybody look at yours. Do you see where it says e to the negative something?
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, I just need you to know that means it's 0. All right, it basically moves the decimal 7 places to the left. And if I move it 7 places to the left, it's going to be 0.00000, which is 0 in effect. All right, so I want everybody to look at that, and hopefully I taught you how to use your calculator. If you forget, you can find it, and it shows you that it's in fact 0, -5. Does everybody agree with that? All right, we're moving on to question number 2 now. All right, anybody have any questions with number 1? It's super easy, super easy. All right, and as Wilson was saying, you can always plot points, always, but there's an easier technique. All right, there's an easier technique than plotting points. And you will see that in a few moments. All right, so number 2, here we go. Step number 1. I want to write down, everybody's writing down x equals -b over 2a, which in this case, b is still what?
0.
0. So it's 0 over -4, which is still 0. So the axisymmetry, draw your axisymmetry again. Your axisymmetry is still x equals 0. So this is what I got, x equals 0.
We just draw like line on it.
Yep, you're drawing that line
How do we know that it's 0?
because there's no x value. The b is the number in front of the x, remember? B is the number in front of the x. Do you see that? There is no b, therefore x is 0, or there is no x, therefore b is 0. All right. Now I need everybody to plug 0 in. So step 2 is the vertex. So if I plug 0 in, what do I get, people? 0.8. That is correct. So now I need everybody to go plot the point 0.8. Plot a point. And then step number 3, the y-intercept. The y-intercept is always 0, c. So in this case, it's 0, what? 0.8, which again is a problem. So now what did I tell you I wanted you to plug in? 1. So now I need everybody to find f of 1. -2 times 1 squared plus 8. So f of 1, you don't need your calculator for that. 1 squared is what? 1 times -2 plus 8, 6. So now the point 1, 6 is on the graph. So everybody's got to go to 1, 6. And if 1, 6 is on the graph, what other point's on the graph? -1, 6 is on the graph. And now you know the curve. All right. So now you just go ahead and sketch your curve as best we can. Come on, Max, you got to get with the program. All right, make sure you put your arrows down because you know it's going down. All right, anybody have any questions with that for now? All right, here we go. Let's take a look now at number 3. Obviously, now number 3 gets a little bit more challenging. All right, number 3 gets a little bit more challenging because there is a B. All right, so please, come on, stay with me. All right, number 1. X equals -b over 2a equals, what's b in this case? 4, right? B is 4. So if I plug it into the formula, it becomes what? -4 over 2. What is the a value? -2. Thank you very much. Don't worry about it. Now, simplify that. -4 over -4. -4 divided by -4 is what? 1. So x equals 1 now is our axis symmetry. So as you can see, I'm drawing my axis symmetry at x equals 1. Anybody have a problem with that? Now, what do I do with that 1? Plug it in, right? So I want everybody to come down and say f of 1 is equal to -2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 3. So let's do the mental math here. What's 1 squared? Times -2 plus 4 plus 3. 5, right? F of 1 is 5. So the vertex is 1, 5. So everybody goes to 1, 5. Plot the point. 1, 5. What's the matter?
Oh, never mind.
All right, so I'm finding the vertex. Now I need the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept? Yes, and what's C in this case?
0.
What's C?
3.
3. Everybody's now graphing the point 0, 3. Now, because 0, 3 is on the graph, what else is on the graph?
2, 3. Yeah.
2, 3. How am I getting that? I'm using the axis of symmetry. Does everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Now, Wilson, do you see how much easier it is now?
Yeah, you're right.
Hopefully you see it's much easier if you know this little formula. I don't feel like just putting numbers in the calculator. All right. And then you draw this, draw your arrows, and you are good enough. You are good enough. All right. Now, everybody do me a favor. Everybody's going into y equals. Everybody's going into y equals, please. Type in -2x squared plus 4x plus 3. And hit graph. Does everybody see that?
-4.
I'm saying this is what you're typing in, -2x squared plus 4x plus 3, and hit graph. And you should see that graph, right?
Mhm.
Now what you're going to do is you're going to, let's say you're taking a test and you forget how to find the vertex. Well, go to second now, trace. Are we looking for the maximum or the minimum? We're looking for the maximum. So the maximum, go to that 1. Then you move your cursor to the left of the maximum. Once the cursor is to the left of the maximum, hit enter. Then you move the cursor to the right of the maximum, hit enter. And then when it says guess, we don't care about guessing, just hit enter. And it should come up as the vertex. What does it say the vertex is?
0.9.
And if it says 0.99999, you should just automatically assume that it's an error with the program. So it would just be what? 1, what? 1, 5. It's 1, 5. Does anybody have an issue with that?
My calculator froze.
No, it didn't freeze. You actually hit enter twice. Hit enter again. All right. If you hit enter twice, it'll stop the graph. All right. Come on. What? I got lots of work to do, Wilson.
So, for number 1, when it's negative b over 2a, is b?
0. Because there's no x. In number 1.
No, like number 3, but like step number 1. Sorry.
Oh, step number 1. The formula for finding the axis symmetry is -b over 2a.
Okay,
Shh.
but positive 4 is
I know, but the formula is -b.
okay.
It's -b. That's why everybody should be just following along step by step. It's a process. Simple little process. All right, quickly, come on.
I still don't understand how to find the vertex.
On the calculator. Second, then you go to trace. which is the very top, fourth button, right? Hit it. Did you hit it? No, I need you to go to second calc. You want the maximum. Now you want to move to the left of the maximum. Hold it down. Hold it down. Now you're to the left. Hit enter. Oh, you went too far now. Now move it to the right of the cursor. Hold it down until you go to the right. Then there you go. Hit enter now. Now it says guess. Hit enter. We don't care about guessing. There it is. You with me now, right?
Yeah.
You have to know how to use technology, guys. You have to. What did it come up on your calculator? Did you hit enter again? Does it say guess?
Yeah.
So one more time, second, and then the one that says maximum. Now move your cursor slowly, just to the, keep going, keep going, keep going. A little bit more, hit enter. Now, does it say right bound? Right? You keep hitting enter a bunch of. All right, everybody take a look at number 4. See if you can do number 4 now. Thank you. All right, everybody, please try number 4 real quick. Let's see how you're doing. Again, that's exactly how I want you to write it on the test. All right. You write down x equals negative b over 2a. All right, so let's start with that. Number 1, x equals negative b over 2a. So in this case, negative b is going to be what? 6 over 2 what?
2
Times 1.
and it's 3.
And now it's 3. So everybody's going to go to x equals 3. Graph the axisymmetry, x equals 3. Now I need to plug it in. So step number 2, the vertex f of 3 equals 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 1. F of 3 is equal to 9 minus 18 minus 1. So f of 3 equals what?
3 comma negative 10. Sure.
That's correct. 3 comma negative 10. So now I go down to 3, plot the point negative 10. That's my vertex. Step number 3 is what's the y-intercept? The y-intercept is what? But we say it is an ordered pair. 0 comma negative 1. So now everybody's going to 0, negative 1. How far am I from the axis of symmetry? Help me, guys. For some reason, kids messed this up last year. What is this? How many units? 3. So I do another dot, exactly 3 units on the other side. 1, 2, 3. There's the other dot. And now with those 3 dots, can I draw my parabola?
Yes.
Yes. Here we go, guys. Having a little bit of trouble here, but I finally got it. All right. Anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am. Good for you.
I don't understand how to step in between.
I just plugged 3 into the equation. Come on, all I'm doing is plugging 3 in for x. So watch, y equals 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 1. What's 3 squared? What's 6 times 3? What's 9 minus 18 minus 1? Are you happy now? To find the vertex, you plug in the axis symmetry into the equation. Now, before you do this, everybody's going to y equals, type in x squared minus 6x minus 1. I'm trying to show you how you can avoid mistakes on the test if you check your answers. Everybody type in y equals x squared minus 6x minus 1, hit graph, and then find the vertex. And I would like the vertex for it to come up and say, yep, the vertex is 3, negative 10. That's what I'd like for you to be able to say.
I only help with first. What would you do? How do you know to divide by 2 first? Because, so the 6a?
Negative b over 2a.
Oh, that's why I divide by 2.
This is negative b. That's a formula. Negative b over 2a. B in this case is negative 6.
Yeah. Oh, that's sense.
So then when I do negative 6, it becomes positive 6. 2 times 1. You with me now?
Yeah.
So that's how I came out with 3. Okay. What? Mackenzie, how are you doing? You know what to do? Holland, you good? Ryan?
Yes.
Nora, you know what you're doing? You got it? Good, good. Anybody need some help? Max?
I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, because you don't participate like you used to. That's why you're a bit confused. You need to start participating again. And it's not hard for you. It's not even a little bit too hard for you. All right. So I'm confused. Where are you at? Look at number 4. Tell me what you're confused about on number 4. Come on, Max.
The first part, number 1.
Negative b over 2a. What is b?
B is 6.
Negative 6.
Negative.
So it'd be negative 6, which makes it positive 6, right?
Okay.
2 times, what's the a value?
A is 1.
Right. 2 times 1.
Is
6 divided by 2.
3.
That's how I got that number.
Okay.
That's the axis symmetry. X equals 3. You with me?
Yeah.
Now, what do I do with that 3?
The 3 is 3x.
You plug it in to the equation. And you get 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 1. Do you understand what I just said? Come on now. Tell me if you don't.
Yeah.
You plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
3 squared is what?
3 squared is 3 squared is 3 squared is 9.
9. 6 times 3.
6 times 3 is 18.
9 minus 18.
9 minus 18 is 9.
Negative 9. Right?
Yeah.
And then subtract 1. What is that?
Minus 1 is negative 10.
There you have it. That's how I got the vertex. You with me on this now, Max?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
That's the vertex. 0, negative 1 is the y-intercept. So you're supposed to plot the point 0, negative 1. Now you count over to the axis symmetry.
3 over.
Yeah, so then you got to go over another 3.
It's
And now you graph the line, graph the parabola. There you have it. Okay, so I want you guys to try 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. I want you to do all 4 or all 3 steps, whatever, and include the graph. And I would like for you to double check your work on your calculator and then verify that you got the vertex correct. All right. Any questions with that? All right.